Okay, so welcome everybody to this evening's webinar. Hopefully you can all see the first slide there which says goals and attitude. And this is one of a series of 8 webinars that I run every Wednesday night, or most Wednesday nights unless I'm away or anything. So I do one a week. Normally takes me 8 weeks to get round, as I say, maybe 9 or 10 if I've got some interruption and I can't make one week. And the first 3 are all to do with getting started, the retail side of the business really. Then 4 and 5 are more to do with building up your residual income, so a bit about getting people started and then getting them off to a fast start and supporting them. And then 6, 7 and 8, the last 3, are to do with kind of the personal development side, the intangible skills. What else do you need once you know how to deliver a catalogue, how to post something on Facebook, how to sponsor somebody and get them off to a good start? What else do you need to build a successful business? So tonight we're talking about number 7, goals and attitude. Now these are all recorded, and at the end of the webinar I will explain and show you where the recordings are. So if you're really interested in how to support new team members, you don't have to wait another 6 weeks till we get round to that one. You can go and watch one of the recordings. So, goals and attitude. So what we're going to cover this evening, should take us about half an hour, is the question, is your attitude important? And if it is, how do you work on it? And secondly, why goals are important and how to set and achieve them. So hopefully you'll all find it very useful. It's 2 of my favourite subjects, so it's certainly useful for me, and just going through it with you all helps me, even though I know what I'm going to say. So, quick question, is your attitude important? And the answer is, of course. Because if you think about it, every distributor who joins this business has exactly the same opportunity. We have the same catalogues, the same products, we can all access Facebook, we have the same costs and overheads, we have the same payment plan. But some people will be more successful than others. And the primary reason why that is their attitude. Quick example, how do you feel when you get up in the morning? Maybe sometimes you wake up and you're thinking, I'm going to get that catalogue out, those catalogues out, whatever it takes today. Wake up with a very positive attitude. Or sometimes you might wake up feeling, oh, I feel a bit rough. Maybe I'll put the catalogues out tomorrow instead. I'll have a quiet day today. Because at the end of the day, successful people do what they know they should do even when they don't feel like doing it. And it's your attitude that helps you do that. Your attitude makes a big difference. It helps you to put your catalogues out if you're feeling a bit down. It encourages you to chat and smile with your customers, even if you're not feeling great yourself. If you can going out delivering your orders, feeling a bit down, but you know, I'm going to have a good attitude, I'm going to have a great time no matter how I feel, then you can chat and smile with your customers even if you're not feeling brilliant. Being reliable and cheerful helps you to build that great rapport with your customers. So if you've got a good attitude and you're chatting and smiling with your customers, that being chatty and cheerful with them and reliable helps you to build that great rapport with your customers. There's a fantastic example. I don't know if you guys all saw it. Just before you came on, Karen was telling us, as well as picking up some good orders today, she got an invitation to the wedding of one of her customers. Now, that's a fantastic story. And it just shows you what a fantastic rapport your customers will have with you if you're reliable and cheerful with them. And if you are, that builds a strong and loyal customer base of people who will order from you over and over again, and that provides you with a great steady income just from your own personal retail. Now, what else might having a good attitude help you with? It might help you to deliver some leaflets when you're feeling a bit under the weather. If you're doing some lead generation and you're delivering some leaflets, you get up one morning and you're feeling a bit down, a bit groggy or achy or whatever, and you sort of think, oh, perhaps I'll leave it till tomorrow. Then, those leaflets are not going to help you at all. If you're thinking, whatever, I'm going to get out and do them because they're not going to earn me any money sat in my own house, then you'll get those leaflets out anyway. And maybe once you've got those leaflets out, the next day when you've got some follow-up calls, you're feeling a little bit nervous. But if you're thinking, I don't care how I feel, I'm going to make some calls, let's see what happens. That's a great attitude. And those activities, the extra leaflets and the calls that you make, might bring in that extra team member this month. And the bigger your team, the bigger your residual income. So having that great attitude helps you in a number of different ways. It can increase your weekly orders just by getting those catalogues out, being cheerful with your customers. If you support your team and encourage your team to be the same as you, that can increase your team orders significantly. And as a result of having all those extra orders in, that could increase your income from £50 a week to £500 a week over a period of time, all because you've got a good attitude. So please feel the same as I do, in that your attitude makes a big difference to you and your life. But how do you actually get an attitude? If you agree that having a positive attitude helps, then how do you actually get it? Because I have to admit, I've been down my local supermarket a couple of times. I just can't find those pots with loads of good attitude in. You know, I've looked in the jam jars, I've looked in the chilled cabinets, I just can't find it anywhere. And that's because you can't just kind of buy it in a can you? There's a couple of different ways to work on your attitude I'm going to share with you tonight. So one is your life philosophies. Now, I'm going to explain a bit more about this next week in webinar number 8, but I just want a couple of suggestions for you. If you take responsibility for everything that happens in your life and you don't blame anything, and it doesn't mean you have to be responsible for everything that happens, but you have to be responsible for how you react to it. And if you don't blame anything, then that gives you a lot of control over how you're feeling. You know, if you're sort of saying, oh, I couldn't get the catalogues out because it's raining, and you get cross because of the weather, and you look at the weather forecast, and, oh no, it's going to be raining again tomorrow, and you start feeling grumpy because of the weather, well, I've got news for you. This is, you know, the UK, it rains in the UK, but if you say, it's going to be raining later, right, where's that raincoat? I'll get my raincoat on, put my wellies on, but make sure I've got the cover over my caterpillar, and I'll get those catalogues out anyway. It's the same weather, it's the same way, the same rain. It's your attitude that makes the difference. And another great philosophy is the fact that in order to be successful in this business, you don't need to make one amazing, fantastic decision. And equally, in order to fail, you don't just make one catastrophic decision. It's a few good decisions that you make every day that will lead to your success. Now, as well as your life philosophies, the other thing that gives you a great attitude is having success. Success really helps your frame of mind, your attitude and everything. And what is success? Well, I guess it's different for everybody, but I like to think of success as achieving your goals. And the beauty of that is you can choose what goals you're aiming for. So achieving goals is a great way to feel successful. Constantly setting and achieving goals is a guaranteed route to success. It's a great skill to learn. So tonight, what I'm going to do is just run you through a very brief, step-by-step approach to setting and achieving goals. And there's actually just 3 steps to it. So first off, thinking about what goals are important to you. What is your reason why? Because that's really important. There's no point your sponsor saying, right, your first goal is to get you to 10%, when actually that might not be important to you. So it's important that you choose what your goals are. The second step is just, I'm going to go through a little process of how to set those goals, what to write down, you know, what you're aiming for. And then the third step, and I guess this is the most important one, is how to achieve those goals. And you do need to be prepared for a bit of a roller coaster. Goal setting isn't a very straightforward process that you just say, well, this is where I am now, that's where I want to be, I'm going to do this every day, and that will get me there. You always have ups and downs, and it is a bit of a roller coaster. So the first thing to think about is, why am I in this business? What is it that drives me? What are my reasons for putting your catalogues out every day, sitting on the phone, calling up prospects, sitting in front of Facebook, posting things in local groups? Why are you doing this? And the reason that you're doing it needs to be a strong reason for you. Because If you don't have a strong reason, if you're just sort of thinking, well, I've got nothing better to do, I might as well give it a go, then this is what's going to happen. You set the goal, so your goal could be, well, I don't know, let's say my goal is to aim to hit £250 income at the end of the month. And so you create a plan for that. Okay, my sponsor said something about putting some catalogues out, so yeah, I'll put 20 catalogues out today, see how that happens, see what happens. And then as you start to follow that plan, you take the first step. So yeah, I'm going to put my catalogues out, that's great, yeah, that's working quite well. And then all of a sudden some obstacle will appear. As you walk down the path, you put the catalogue through the letterbox, you're walking back down the path, and somebody opens the door behind you, puts the catalogue back on the doorstep and shuts the door. And you're thinking, oh my God, they didn't want the catalogue, they didn't even look at it. Oh, what's happening? Oh, my life's come to an end. Oh my goodness me. And that's because, you're not really in the right place to overcome these obstacles. Now, if you've got a goal and there are no obstacles, chances are it's not ambitious enough. You need to have a strong reason why to motivate you to overcome these obstacles. And the obstacles will come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. So you need to be kind of prepared for them. Now, if you do have a strong reason why, it's amazing what you can overcome. And I find that the best reasons for doing this business are emotional reasons. So, for example, your family. If you're in a situation where at the moment you rarely take holidays because you can't afford to take the family on holiday, and you've got 2 or 3 children and you would just love to take them to the seaside for a week, or to Disneyland, or wherever it might be. Might even be that you'd love to be able to just take them to see a movie at the weekend and go for a pizza. Whatever it is, if it's a family-based goal, you will often find strong reasons to do that, because you start to imagine how excited they're going to be when you start showing them on the map where you're going on holiday, and start thinking about the hotel that you're going to stay at, and all those things. That's so exciting. So let me just give you a little example of how having an exciting goal like that might overcome an obstacle. If I was to put a plank of wood on the ground and say, here's £20 if you can walk along that plank of wood without falling off, you'd probably say, easy peasy, walk straight across it, grab the £20, easiest money you've ever made. If I took that same plank of wood, went on up the elevator to the top flight of the tallest building you can think of, the Empire State Building, and I put that plank of wood from the outside of that building to the nearby skyscraper, some other building across the top of it. So all of a sudden, you're like, 500 feet up in the air. And I said, right, here's another 20 quid, go and walk across that plank again. Now, all of a sudden, that 20 quid isn't very exciting. You don't sort of think, oh, crikey, you know what? I'm not sure that, all of a sudden, you're starting to think, I'm not sure that I want that. You'd probably say, get stuffed, I wouldn't walk across there for £100, never mind £20. But what if your son or daughter was in the other building and there were flames licking up the outside? There was no way for them to escape other than to get across the plank of wood to you. And they were crying, they were upset, they didn't know what to do. The only way you could rescue them would be to get across that plank of wood yourself, pick them up and bring them back. Now you would find a way across that plank of wood. You would do whatever it takes to get across there. You might grab some rope and tie it round yourself and tie it round the rope so you couldn't fall off. Get down on your hands and knees and walk across. Whatever it took, you would get across that plank of wood. Now the plank of wood hasn't changed. The obstacles are just the same. It's a bit high up. It might be a bit windy. It's pretty scary, but nothing's changed. The thing that's changed is your attitude and your reason why. And it's exactly the same in this business. And that's why setting strong reasons why, imagining fantastic things that you could do with your family, will motivate you to overcome those obstacles that you'll find in this business. So that's the first step, which is thinking about what is my reason why, what are my powerful drivers in my life. And as I say, a family is a good one, but it might not be. It might just be ambition. You might really, really want to go somewhere and you see this as an opportunity to save up enough to travel the world or go to Australia or whatever it is that's important to you. So that's important to think about those things. Now, in terms of setting your first goals, What I suggest you do is you do this in a couple of different ways. Start off by asking yourself, what would you change in your life? So I've talked about a few examples there. It might be that at the moment in your life you never go on holiday, so you'd love to be able to take the family on a holiday. Or you're sick of not being able to pay the bills. Or you're sick of always holidaying in the caravan at the bottom of the road and you'd love to be able to go to Disneyland or whatever it might be. So think about what you'd like to change. And then what you need to do is break your goals down into short-term goals. And by that I mean something that you could achieve within the next kind of 1 to 3 months. So an example could be just treat the kids to a day at Alton Towers, or buy yourself a new laptop, or something like that. Something that you could achieve fairly quickly in the business. You should also think about medium-term goals. So that could be examples for that. So it could be paying off maybe a credit card debt, or maybe saving up for a family holiday in Spain. And that could take a bit longer. That might be 6 to 12 months it would take you to save up enough money to do that. But that would be a fantastic thing to do. And your long-term goals, so this is things that are going to take longer than 12 months, maybe 5 years, even longer. So that could be something like saving up £10,000 to put a deposit on a new house, or buying yourself a brand new Mercedes. Could be anything like that. So the important thing here is not just to think of one goal, it's to think of as many exciting things as you can and break them down into short-term ones, things you'll be able to achieve in the next few months, medium-term and longer-term goals. Now the third step, once you've kind of sat down and set some goals, the third step is to think, now, how am I going to achieve that goal? Because it's all very well kind of having a new goal, which is a new laptop or a holiday or a new car. But how do you actually get there? It's no good just imagining it and thinking, oh well, I'll keep my fingers crossed, hope I get it. So let me just go through a couple of things. Your goal is some change in your life. So whatever that might be, it might just be, as I say, the laptop or the pizza with the kids, but some change in your life. And you can implement that change, having the extra money, by achieving some results. So those results in our business would be orders from your customers. It might be a nice bonus by hitting your 10% bonus or 13% bonus. It might be that by having some team members, you're starting to build a bigger income and a residual income from that. And in order to achieve those results, which will bring about that change in your life, you need to take some actions. Because at the end of the day, those results won't just happen on their own. The actions are what will produce the results, which will lead you to the improvement in your lifestyle. So just as a little example, and don't take these as what you have to do, but just to give you a bit of a feel. If the results that you want by having all these extra orders and getting a bonus is you want to buy yourself a new laptop, then the actions that you could take could be, for example, put 200 catalogues out twice a week. Or if you're looking to build a team, maybe deliver 500 leaflets twice a week. So those actions, those are things that you can control. You might not be able to control how many people reply to the catalogues, how many orders you get, but you know that if you put those catalogues out twice a week all the time, deliver those leaflets twice a week every week, over a period of time, the law of averages is on your side and you will get orders and you will get team members as a result of that. And it's exactly the same for other goals. If your goal is a medium-term goal to earn maybe £1,000 to have a family holiday in Spain or something, maybe the actions that you need to take are to continue blanket dropping with your catalogues until you've got a customer base of over 500 customers. Or maybe it's talking to 10 different people about the business every day, because you know that will generate some leads and help you build a team. The specifics of this, I'm not saying this is what you have to do, but the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is you need to take some action. Speak to your sponsor. If you're actually kind of quite new in the business and you're not sure what you should do to achieve a goal, speak to your sponsor about goal setting, because he can kind of tell you, having sat down with you, understand what your goals are, how much you would need to achieve that, and the kind of actions you'd need to take in order to do that. And this is exactly the same for bigger, even more exciting goals. If your goal is to have a brand new Mercedes, then it may be that the actions you need to take are maybe generate 30 leads a week. You need to be part of an ad pool. You need to be advertising regularly in different places. Maybe you need to run a weekly team webinar, a bit like this, but for your team, so that you start to show a bit of leadership and encourage them to start building their own teams as well. So, as you can see there, the actions that you take will inevitably lead to results which will help you achieve the goals that you set. And the beauty of this is you can start off with small actions. Even if your goal now is to get a new Mercedes, and somebody says, right, you need to generate at least 30 leads a week, and you're thinking, oh, I've got no idea how to do that. Start off with small actions. You can put catalogues out, you can post things on Facebook. Once you've learnt those really basic skills, you can start doing that. And starting off with those small actions will inevitably lead to big results. Because what happens is, every week you get a little success. If you've got a goal of putting 200 catalogues out twice a week, you can control that. At the end of your first week, you've put 400 catalogues out. You're really motivated because you've hit your target. And you might get a small success from that. That might give you enough to put in £150, £200, £300 worth of orders. And if you're doing that every week, and you're starting to hit your bonus, you get your 10% bonus, maybe you get your 13% bonus, every couple of months you're getting bigger and bigger successes. You become more and more motivated by that success. And it starts to become really exciting. And that success, that excitement, rubs off on people that you speak to and team members. And maybe you start to get more team members, and once a year you achieve a long-term goal. You hit your 18%, your 21%, you get yourself to gold, you're earning over £1,000 a month. You're so excited about where you're going in this business. And that is serious motivation. So from little successes, just being pleased to get your catalogues out twice a week, to big serious motivation, just by setting goals and following the small actions that result in that serious motivation. And all of those regular successes are constantly improving your attitude. Now, just one final step. Just remember that what I've just described to you sounds fairly straightforward. Do some little steps that you can take each day, achieve little successes each week, bigger successes each month, better successes each year. But you do need to be prepared for a little bit of a roller coaster. As I said earlier, I think any path without obstacles is probably not leading anywhere worthwhile. And so what will happen is you start off getting excited in this business. You will do whatever it takes. Went to a showcase, I saw people there getting loads and loads of success, earning thousands of pounds, winning cars, qualifying for holidays to India and Mexico. You will do anything it takes. That's where I want to be next. And then you come across a couple of obstacles. You get some grumpy customers, or you get somebody who you thought might want to join your team, and they say, oh no, that'll never work. So you start to doubt that you can do it. You start to get into a bit of self-doubt. And you can kind of call this the pit. And to be honest, it's a normal phase which happens to everybody. And it can happen to you after 2 days in the business, it can happen to you after 2 months in the business, or even after 2 years in the business. And what happens when you're feeling like that is you start to stay away from the meetings, you avoid coming to the webinars on a Wednesday night, you find excuses as to why you can't do things, you find faults with the catalogues, with the company, with your sponsor, with your customers. Suddenly you're finding faults everywhere. But if you've got that good attitude because of those successes that you've been building up, that leads you to a fight stage. You start to think, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I know that success is just around the corner. And you start to focus on the goals, not the obstacles. If you're having a few bad days, that's fine. But focus on your goal again. You're so close to hitting that bonus, so you're going to be able to put the deposit on your holiday. That's what you're focusing on, the holiday, not the grumpy customer. And you go back to attending events, joining the webinars, booking a ticket for the showcase, you're communicating with your sponsor again, and then you're back off and running. Okay guys, that's pretty much gone through what I was going to. A couple of quick questions just to make sure that you guys are all wide awake and I haven't sent you off into slumberland. A quick question for you. At the moment, if you're fairly new in the business, or actually even if you've been in the business for a while, do you have any goals for the next 1 to 3 months that you'd like to share with us? What would you like to achieve in the next 1 to 3 months? Anybody got any exciting goals? Bradley, getting your driving license, fantastic. Tony, qualifying for Madrid, it's brilliant. Huel, sponsoring 2 people in the next couple of months, fantastic, that would be good. Robin, getting that up to £250 a month, that's fantastic, guys. There's just 4 little answers there, and it just really shows you the different goals that people have, and that's why it's so important that you set your goals. Don't just kind of see what other people are setting and saying, oh yeah, well that's probably what I want as well. Amanda getting to gold, fantastic. So that's great. So that's good. There's some great examples there. Has anyone got any goals a bit beyond that? So what would you like to have achieved, let's say, by, I've talked about 6 to 12 months. So next summer, summer 2017, if you can think that far ahead, what would you have liked to have achieved by then? Anybody got any slightly bigger goals, any longer term goals? You're all going gold, fantastic. Amanda, getting all your debts cleared, that would be wonderful. Emma, having a holiday. Where would you go on holiday, Emma? This time next year, you're earning £1,000 a month extra. Where would you like to go? Morocco, amazing, fantastic, Emma. And that's great. I love when people have got goals to go to particular places. It's so exciting. It's so easy now to kind of find information on the internet and get pictures of where you want to go. That's brilliant. Thank you, Margie. That's great. A holiday, clear your debt. That's fantastic. Okay. Anybody want to share any really big, exciting goals? What would you like? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time in this business? Touring the beaches of the world, maybe? What would you like to see yourself doing? It's getting harder now. Anybody got any exciting things they can share with us? So start letting your imagination go wild a bit now. Yeah, financial independence. Robin, going to New England, amazing. Yeah, Sonia, that'd be great. Just imagine just eating wherever you want to eat, going on holiday wherever you want to go, not having to worry about the money. Tony, SED, £5,000 a month. See, Sonia and Tony, you've probably got the same goal, you're just writing it in different words. Basically, not having to worry about money, having as much money that you need, that'd be amazing. Sarah, renewing her wedding, that's fantastic, I love that. That's a really emotional, personal goal, which is fantastic. Travelling with friends, getting married, Emma. Anybody in particular in mind? Have we got any single men in the room? Or have you already found somebody, Emma? Oh, it's all gone quiet. Come on, Emma, you have to give us more information. Oh, you've gone all coy on me now. Okay, that's okay. You can save that till next time. So, my question for you then is, are you taking the actions, based on what I was saying earlier and speaking to your sponsor and so on, are you taking the actions that will inevitably lead to that result? Emma, you've already found her. Sorry guys, all you people there that were getting excited a minute, Emma is already engaged. Sorry, just bringing this back to here again. I just want to be serious for a minute. It's all very well setting all of these goals, guys, but you need to get serious about making sure that you're taking the actions that will inevitably lead to that result. Because we know it does. Everybody in this business, all those goals that you've set are absolutely 100% achievable if you're willing to put the time in and take the actions. Okay guys, everything done for this evening. I'm just going to stop the recording.